Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Cupid, and if you're new here, welcome. This is my channel where I like to do pick-a-cards, I like to do divination, and I like to just hang out and chit-chat with you, okay? Today's pick-a-card is going to be their message for you, right? The person on your mind. This is going to be their message for you, okay? So, as always, we will have 3 groups. After this intro, you will be able to see the groups, pause if necessary, take your time and meditate on which group you belong to, okay? Remember, this is an intuitive exercise. This is an opportunity for you to practice trusting yourself and allowing yourself to be guided in the direction that your intention has set, okay? So this is entertainment purposes. This is just for fun. Make sure you take what resonates and you leave what does not, because this is a intuitive reading for a large unseen collective. And yeah, you know what that means. So anyway, enough with that. Let's just move on to the groups, and I will see you guys at your readings. Hello, group 1. You have chosen the first image. We are going to be seeing what their message to you is, right? Their message to you, the person on your mind, the person, either you had a person in mind clicking on this video, or once we get into the reading, you'll know who this person is, okay? So I'm excited to get into it, group 1. I'm going to shuffle your cards, and then I'll catch you on the other side. Right, group 1, okay? So, this person, I believe this person wants to tell you how they feel, right? This is their message to you. I want to iterate, and I didn't think of this before, I'm only thinking of this now, but even though this may be this person's message to you in the cards, this does not necessarily mean that they are going to tell you this. This is not a prediction of their behavior. This is more so, what do they want to say? What do they have waiting to tell you, right? What is their message to you? The message that they already have or will have, perhaps, that they in some ways want you to know, or you know, it's directed towards you, okay? That being said, I don't know if this person will tell you this, but they want to tell you how they feel, right? They want to tell you their feelings for you, their desire for you. I definitely see desire here. However, in some ways they're very nervous, right? They're very nervous, but they feel like they have to tell you soon. They feel like they have to tell you soon, or they feel like they're running out of time to tell you, okay? They want to ask you on a date, or they want to ask you to go somewhere, all right? We have the Ace of Wands here, and then we have this Four of Wands. You light something up in this person, right? There's a spark, right? This person feels like there is a spark between you with this Ace of Wands, and they feel in a lot of ways called to action by it, right? So maybe they don't often have crushes, and you know, they don't often like people, or perhaps the spark they feel with you is just more intense, or more, you know, they feel it more than they probably have other instances of attraction. And so this Ace of Wands, like I said, they feel called to attention, and they are desiring you greatly, right? You may have just met, or this could just be something new in their life, like kind of like the shakeup, right? It's like someone turning all of the lights on, okay? With the Four of Wands here, they want to do something fun, right? First of all, they already feel like you guys are kind of kindred spirits, and they think you have a good bit in common. They enjoy the time that they do spend with you, and it's almost like they want to keep that going, right? Keeping up that momentum, right? So they want to do something fun with you, some type of celebratory thing. I don't know, but yeah, they want to do that with you, okay, with the Four of Wands. But I'm drawn to this Two of Wands here. They're hesitant. This is something they've never done before. This is something kind of out of their scope. And at the same time, they feel like you are kind of comfortable where you are, right? So there's something about you and your position, right? They don't feel, it's not super obvious to them that you're attracted to them. And I'm not saying you are attracted. You might not be, but you might be. But it's not obvious to them, right? And so it's almost like this feeling of needing to convince you to go out with them. They need to convince you to kind of leave your comfort zone and have a good time, or do something. Maybe they feel like this is something that you wouldn't do, whatever it is they want to suggest. But they also feel out of their element in a way, even desiring this or wanting to ask you this, right? And then what's interesting is right underneath that is the Three of Cups. And you also got the Three of Cups at the bottom of the deck over here, okay? So I see them, they want to invite you somewhere. They want to ask you to go somewhere. This could be a group thing, possibly. Or I feel like this person really enjoys the time they spend with you in a group. They want to get you out. Like I'm hearing let loose, right? So they kind of want to see you outside of the environment that you already are in right now. They kind of want to interact with you in a freer setting, okay? Even possibly with drinks, right? With these Three Cups, right? They probably want to get a drink with you, invite you to somewhere where drinking could occur. I'm also hearing laughter, so it could be a party or an event. But they kind, like I said, they want to invite you to something a little less formal or a little more free than the environment that you guys are like associated in. So like if you know this person from work, or you know this person from school, or you know this person from the grocery store, or wherever you know this person from, they want to see you outside of that environment, okay? And then we have this Page of Swords. So like I said, this person's really, really hesitant, okay? They're nervous. They kind of don't know what to do. I'm hearing this person, they want you to take the lead, right? That's part of their message to you, is that they want you to kind of lead them there, right? Give them clues. They need some confirmations, right? This person is wanting some confirmations. So it's almost like they're asking, their message to you is a question. Do you like them back? Are you interested in them? You know what I mean? If they could send you a message, it would literally be just a question of, would you like to go out? Or are you interested in me? Or do you like, that's what their message is, this inquiring to you about you. But it's also because, like I said, they want to express how they feel. We have, you cannot heal what you do not reveal. And then we also have the card Beautiful. So this person finds you to be very beautiful, very attractive, all right? And this is something that they're feeling intensely. Like I said, this is a desire. This person, this is a big old fat crush, all right? And it's like a buildup. I'm getting there's this buildup of the feelings just getting more and more intense. And it's almost like they can't do it. They feel like they can't do anything about it, and it's driving them crazy. But at the same time, they feel like they're not going to feel better if they don't shoot their shot, right? Like I said, you cannot heal what you do not reveal. So in order for them to have any resolution in this, in order for them to ease their own anxiety, would be to finally just break the ice and ask you to get that confirmation. And once they know that you either like them or don't like them, then they can move on from this this crush that's, you know, in some ways might make them feel immature. It might make them feel silly, like they don't really want to feel this way. All right, but unfortunately you have the devil right here, so they find you very intimidating. You could also be a loner. Like I said, you're a loner. You're building something right underneath the devil, which has a spider here. Notice how the spider is on this web, but then also right underneath for the Three of Pentacles, you have these pentagrams with like sticks. I think these are pentagrams, or, you know, they're supposed to be pentacles, but, you know, what have you, right? But it makes me think of like webs, right? And I think this is symbolic of like you're busy, right? Like I feel like this person feels intimidated because they feel like you're always busy, all right? But you look hot doing it. It's like whatever you're doing, like you just look so beautiful to them. Like they love looking at you, right? There's a lot of physicality here. You could have a big butt, I'm thinking, with this spider, her big old booty. So maybe you're thicker or whatever, but either way, they feel like you, or you could be full figured, I heard. So maybe it's not necessarily that your butt's big, but maybe you have nice curves to this person. But either way, it's like they come up to you and you're busy. And it's intimidating because you're so serious and focused, okay? I feel like a part of this message is that this person, it's like they're saying that they're going to do something about this, right? Something could be ending, but we have no more. And then we have any day. And so, like I said, I feel like there's this countdown, like they can't take it anymore. They can't do this anymore. And then any day, it's like they're anticipating. There's an anticipation of finally, so maybe they're planning, like they're like, okay, any day I'm gonna work up the courage to do this. But it's like like I said, that build up is happening. So it's almost like they're gonna, in my imagination, I'm like seeing them like explode. Like this just gonna kind of burst out. So maybe they're waiting for this perfect time, but the tension and anxiety is gonna get so bad that they're just gonna ask you out and fumble of words, and it's going to be kind of awkward and silly, but you know, you might think it's cute, right? Like either way, what I'm saying is like this person, they're kind of reaching like the edge, like they're on the edge right now, but right underneath we have protection. So I feel like what this person may feel like, maybe something's coming up, they feel like they may not be able to see you again with the start over. They feel like they're going to have to try again elsewhere or do something different elsewhere, or you're going to be doing something. It's going to be like a reset, right? There's a reset coming, but then we also have protection. And so I feel like, okay, that's for you, group one. I feel like at the end of the day, this person's feelings, like, yes, they might have this message for you, but I don't get that there's a possibility that, and I mean, I feel like based on the spread, it's a high possibility that they're probably not that good for you anyway. And so you have protection around you, you being busy, you having things that you're working on. That's working in your benefit because you are kind of protecting yourself from whatever this person's desire may lead you towards, right? And I don't see this person as a bad person, but it might just be about like the alignment. And also the fact that they're so hesitant to approach you, you know, to me that points to it may not be the best fit anyway, simply because, is it the environment? If it's the environment, then why are you hitting on people at work, right? Like, you know, if you feel intimidated, then move on. Date somebody who doesn't intimidate you. Like, I don't know. I just think that this is not really, you're being protected, you know. I just feel like you don't really, this person's just not really up your alley, okay? They're not what you need, okay? So anyway, that's all I have for you today, Group 1. If you enjoyed this reading, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you would like to be notified when I post new videos, then subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye, Group 1. Hi, Group 2. You have chosen the second image. We are going to be getting into your person's message to you. All right. This is either somebody you're already thinking of, or when you listen to the message, you will know who they are. Okay. So, I also want a disclaimer. This is not what they will tell you. This is simply what they kind of have in their mind for you, right? Like if they were to send you a message, if they were to tell you what they want to tell you, this is what they would say, right? So we don't know if this person will say this or not, or will tell you or not, but we're just gonna be nosy and tap into what they want to say. So Group 2, I am going to shuffle your cards and I will catch you on the other side. Group 2. So I already want to say that I'm not getting good energy for this from this person. Okay, I feel like this person is salty. Okay, you might need to watch my What Makes You the Bad Guy video if you haven't. But yeah, this person is salty. This person is salty because you let them go, is what I'm getting, right? You either left them, or you dismissed them, or you ended a connection, a contract, a situation. You walked away from them, right? You made a judgment call on them, okay? With the Queen of Pentacles here, I heard it's all business, right? So this person's kind of salty with you because they feel like you are very strict, like there's no feelings involved. You know, it's just get to the point. It's all about your money. It's all about your time. And they're really not feeling that. They feel like it's cold-hearted, okay? So, yeah, like it's all business to you, right? And with the Judgment here, it's like you determined they were bad for business. You determined that they were not going to help you reach your bottom line, or dealing with them with some type of net negative in some sense. And it's almost like the message is them kind of calling you out about this. You know, they're kind of calling you out about this. With the Five of Pentacles here, they feel like they are internalizing this in a way where in their mind it's about their money. It's about their resources. It's about what they look like or what they can and can't do. And they feel like you left them out in the cold, right? It's like almost like, you know how the saying, I don't even know if this is a saying, but it's expensive to be poor, right? Like when you're poor and you miss a payment, now you have to pay the payment, but also there's this late fee on top. And so it's almost like when you're poor, you're penalized. And so it's like, that's how they feel. They feel like you're like penalizing them for not having as much, or not having enough, or not being enough, right? It's this kind of punishment, or this cast out. They feel casted out, all right, for what they didn't have, okay? But I'm hearing with this Eight of Swords, oh my God, when I tell you, I heard it's not my fault, right? This is out of my hands, okay? So this person's message, they want to tell you that whatever it is that you're judging them for, it's not their fault, right? It's almost like they want to blame whatever they did, or whatever situation this is, whatever part they played, they want to blame that on something else, right? They want to say it's like out of their hands. They were tied up. There was nothing they could do, okay? Like that shit was coming from the left and the right. Like they're kind of like not taking accountability. They're trying to find this scapegoat for what happened here. This could be something they said with the swords, right? Like, or the way they were speaking to you. Or this could just be about them wanting to speak to you, because we also have return and we also have illusions matter. All right. So I just want to talk about that, right? This person, at the end of the day, what they're trying to say is, this wasn't my fault. Be my friend again. This wasn't my fault. Date me again. Like they're not saying I'm sorry. They're not apologizing. They really just want they want to be absolved because of this helplessness that they perceive they have. And I will say, some of you, yes, maybe some of them do have legitimate, reasons for whatever happened, and it's not personal. Oh, excuse me. And it's not personal, and you can forgive them. But for others of you, it might have been severe. It might be something you can't forgive. Okay? We have this King of Wands. And when I see this image, I see this like cloak. First of all, it came in the reverse. But he's like having this cloak. He's peeking from behind it. He has all these candles set up. It's almost like he's sneaky, right? So this person, they're kind of sneaky. Let's be fucking for real. And then we have this Five of Wands at the bottom. Okay, so this person, they are looking for opportunities to stab you in the back, right? This is somebody who's looking for opportunities to snake you, do you wrong, throw you under the bus, use you as a footstool. But the only way they can do that is if they pretend to be somebody that you would want to keep around, right? That's why we have illusions matter, okay? Because this person, they thought their disguise was disguising, okay? They thought that the mask that they were wearing was masking. But really, they didn't see that you kind of like saw them. From the corner of my eye, and this is going to sound crazy, but from the corner of my eye, this keeps looking like a face in the window, right? This is like this is the Five of Pentacles, right? Not having enough or lacking something. I'm seeing a face in the window, right? So you saw them, right? This person doesn't understand that you saw them. And I feel like the fact, like, they don't know you did. They don't know you saw them. They're confused. They still think that they can trick you with this fake ass apology and I'm sorry, or like I said, they're not going to say sorry, but it's not my fault. It was out of my hands. I was going through this and that and the third, and the sky fell on my head, and my underwear, I was in my drawers at the post office, like just a ring around a rosy of stories and excuses for why they did or why they allowed or whatever the offense is. They have all these reasons why, but it's shady. That part, this King of Wands, he's an opportunist. Okay, and I would even say selfish, right? And that shadow energy, somebody a bit absorbed in themselves. You know what I mean? And I feel like this person, like I said, this image, this person was being sneaky about how they felt about you. Okay, right? They tried to do something underhanded, and they were seen, they were caught. But. And I feel like with the illusions matter, this person, they feel like, it's almost like they don't understand the game, right? It's like they only learned half of the rules, but they think they know all of the rules. And so they're kind of having this tantrum moment of, this was supposed to work out this way. This was supposed to happen this way. This person was supposed to believe me. This person was supposed to accept my apology, even though I went right back to doing the same thing that I did before that got us in the situation, right? This person, it's like they don't really understand all the ways their intentions are revealed. You know what I mean? And they want to come back in your life, right? But they want you to return to them, right? I heard return. Like, they want you to come back, okay? And then retrace your steps. Yeah, they want you to look at what you've done and feel bad or feel guilty, right? They want you to look at your steps and feel regret and decide that you could have done something differently and it wasn't that bad. But look, right underneath retrace your steps, you have the warnings are clear. You see them. You don't need to retrace your steps because for you, the evidence was solid. The evidence showed you exactly what you needed to see to move forward away from this person, but this person thinks that they are still partially hidden, right? That's really crazy to me. This person thinks that they are still hidden when they are not. They are wearing a mask, okay? This person masks a lot. Then we have material here. And you're beautiful, right? Beautiful right underneath that. This person, it's like they try and play like you're just materialistic, right? Like I said, it's all business, right? They try to act like you're the shallow one. You're shallow. You only care about money. You're materialistic. You know what I'm saying? You got pretty privilege or whatever they say, you know, or whatever they're thinking. It's like they kind of put that narrative on you, because at the end of the day, they can't identify their own envy or jealousy, right? They can't really reckon with it because they're refusing to recognize it. You know what I mean? It's like they wanted to be weird and shady with you, but never get cut off, right? Have access to you to validate themselves, but at the same time be weird and shady with you behind the scenes. I don't know. I feel like this person's weird, and their message is like, the message for you is, you know, you need to forgive them because it wasn't their fault. But this spread is revealing all of the shit underneath, right? This spread is revealing their intentions regardless, right? And then lastly, we have the sun. So group 2. This person, they're insufferable. I heard you just want to be the center of attention, right? You just want to be the center of attention. This person cannot stand seeing you shine, right? They hate to see you winning, right? They hate to see you winning. When you're doing some shit and they're like, damn, they're winning, it's like they got to degrade you. They got to neg you. They got to bring you down, okay? And that's what I'm feeling from this person. It's like they want to bring you down. They want to make it seem like you're something that you're not. All because they feel salty and bitter that you determined that they were not somebody you wanted to, you know, hang out with or whatever. You know, and you have that right. I feel like it's not about you. Maybe I don't see you being rude. I just see you being honest. And then we have a 4 of Cups right underneath that. So like, you're just being selective. It's not like, you know, you were trying to hurt anybody. You're just being mindful of the selection that you make for yourself, okay? So I'm going to leave it there, group 2. I thought this was a really interesting reading. If you enjoyed it, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment, and if you would like to be notified whenever I post new videos, then subscribe and ring that notification bell. Then subscribe and ring that notification bell. Bye, group 2. Hi, group 3. You have chosen the 3rd image. We are going to be getting into the person on your mind, their message for you. So this could either be somebody you're already thinking about, or this could be somebody that you recognize as we go into the reading, okay? So I'm going to shuffle your cards, and I will catch you on the other side. Okay, so this person's message to you is to shut up. This person does not like you, okay? With this 10 of Swords here, I'm seeing this as somebody that you definitely ended a connection with, okay? This could have included blocking them, but they see this as a huge defeat, right? But the way this hand is up, it's almost like in what is it called? In surrender, right? In surrender, but also the hand shape is like almost like a gun, like they hate you for it. They hate that you've made them surrender to you in whatever way you did, okay? And it's final, right? There's nothing they can go back, they can come back from. There's nothing that they can say that could, put things in a better, circumstance. They really just have to eat that, eat this failure, and they hate it, right? They feel like they have been defeated by you. With this Ace of Swords here, they either feel or know that you are about to say something, or you're already speaking about something, right? And it kind of triggers them, right? When they hear you speak whatever this is, it pisses them off, right? When every time you open your mouth, I heard, right, with the ace here, right? Every time you open your mouth, you always got something to say. Ooh, I'm channeling this energy. Oh my God, that doesn't always happen, but when it does, that was coming through, right? That came out of me, y'all. This person, they said you always got something to say. You be running, they feel like you be running your mouth, you know what I mean? And they don't want you to say anything else, okay? They really want to stop what it is that you're about to say, okay? And I see that here with this Queen of Swords, the way she's wearing this necklace, right? So you're coming with some heat, right? You're coming with some strategy, some discipline, and some harshness, right? This person feels like you have a strength, and you, like I said, you're strategic, right? About how you move and how you speak. And they want to silence you, right? This necklace makes me think of the Little Mermaid necklace, right? So this person, they kind of want to silence you. They want to keep you from speaking up. And they're also kind of pissed at your resolve, right? The fact that you're standing up to them at all. Notice, I just seen these like demon hands. These demon hands are putting the necklace on her, right? So this person, and like I said, this necklace makes me think of like Little Mermaid. It's like they're dressing you, right? They're putting this necklace on you to shut you up. But I also see this as them wanting to kind of cloak you in a certain type of image, right? They're dressing you, right? They could be trying to beat you to the punch to talk about whatever happened between you. But they also kind of like want to paint a narrative of you, that allows them to always be like in the right? And the sooner the better, right? They need to do this quickly, right? So this person, they feel like they need to silence you quickly in order to keep you from either continuing to speak up about something or starting to speak up about something, okay? What's interesting to me over here is that we have this Knight of Pentacles, and then we also have this King of Cups. And so I feel like this person, they're very immature. I can't really decipher with the King of Cups here and the Knight of Pentacles, and these are both at the bottom of the deck. So maybe you broke up with them because of their maturity. You broke up with them because of where they were in life, right? For whatever reason, they feel like you left them because, you weren't established. They feel like you weren't necessarily a ride or die for them during the time where they were hustling. But I don't know if that's true. And then with the King of Cups here, it's almost like they want to make you jealous. They want to show you how many, attachments they have, right? They want to show off their attachments, okay? They want to show you how they have this partner, that partner. They can go sleep on this couch and that couch, right? But it looks like a hot mess. It's like, you can't really tell right here, or maybe you can, but it's just like a hot mess of riffraff behind them, because really they just want to get you jealous. They want to be the one to paint the narrative, okay? That's really what I'm getting, right? They don't like that you are going to be able to paint some narrative, or you're going to be the one who kind of defines what this is. They want to shut you up and beat you to it, okay? And they kind of want the narrative to show them as this really attractive victor who has more than one partner, okay? We have the only way out is up. So I feel like this person is self-centered. This person's clout hungry. And this is the type of person you really can't trust because they're always going to throw you under the bus for validation, right? They care more about being liked by everybody than having genuine friendships or partnerships where, you know, those people truly support you. This person kind of craves that toxic competitiveness that often exists, you know, in clout world, right? And I don't know what it is that they're trying to do, but you know, they are really trying to push, you know, an idea that they feel is going to sell. But it's fake, right? Right underneath that at the bottom, we had illusions matter. So some of you may have, you know, been drawn to pile 2. If you did, I say go watch it because I feel like this is kind of like a continuation of the energy. But yeah, this person with the only way out is up and illusions matter. This person, they kind of have these, you know, ideas of grandeur. When they think about the future, even if it's tomorrow, they kind of have like this romanticized, dramatic perception of it. And they kind of like aspire to be rich. Like with the only way out is up, this person's kind of pessimistic, right? They're not an optimistic person. This is not somebody who is going to be able to uplift you because they really can't uplift themselves, okay? And that's why they need to live in this illusion in order to get things done. They have to imagine and believe that somehow, some way, they are going to be making, you know, all this money that at the very least can help them get a home. Then we have Tyrant here, okay? We have Tyrant. So this person, the reality is, like I said, they want to be the one to make the narrative. They want to be in charge, and they just want to have control. They feel like because they couldn't get the outcome they wanted from the situation, they feel like they have to kind of like overcompensate control. They feel like they've lost control, right? This person may have had like ideas in their mind of, you know, how they were going to be on top at the end of this situation, but now that everything's said and done, like I said, they feel like they're the one that's defeated. And so it's almost like they want to like overcompensate or take back control. And then we have wounds at the bottom of the deck. So like I said before, you know, you hurt them, right? Whatever happened to make you leave this person, they're still really wounded over it, and they're still really like harboring negativity about the situation. Like I said, they want to come in and kind of like gain control back. And then lastly, we have this 4 of Cups here. And I think this is about, I feel like this person just doesn't like how you pass them up, right? They feel like you passed them up. You passed them over, like you didn't really give them a chance, they feel. It's odd because with the 10 of Swords, that to me indicates that you guys did have a connection, right? It wasn't something trivial. But with this 4 of Cups energy, it's like that's how they're interpreting it. They feel like you were a bit callous. Like I said, there's that energy again from the second group, right? They feel like you're callous and you kind of just made a decision off of the stats, right? And a part of them feels like if you really cared, then you wouldn't have done or made the decision the way you did, okay? So their message to you is really to like be quiet. Like they want to come in and just keep you from speaking or saying what the truth is because they feel like it's going to make them look bad. All right, so group 3, I'm going to have to go because I'm falling asleep. So if you enjoyed this reading, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you would like to be notified whenever I post new videos, then subscribe and ring the notification bell. Bye, group 3.